Welcome back to Rimeffect, you beautiful people. Start this episode off, we have started a new bit of construction. So we are going to extend the base out along here so we can take all of this and move it into these two bays here. And then we can extend the wall down across there and along to here. And then we can just round that off, so that's going to look a little bit smarter, and then extend out to here. We will need to work on the shuttle bay to figure out how we want that set, because also what we do need to drop in is we need to drop in the Themis freighter. This thing is pretty big. It's going to take up a lot of space, but it's going to allow us to carry a whole bunch of supplies with us. So if we go here and then we look at what it can take, it can carry 15,000 kilograms of cargo, which is going to be amazing, because I think soon we should carry out a few raids, and we're also going to attack a couple of the larger mechanoid ships. We're not too bothered about fighting, let's say, like the smaller destroyers, and if we can find one of the frigates. We want to go after the carriers and the troop ships. They are the biggest contributor to the size of the mechanoid parties, and if we can take those out, we're going to be pretty good. Yes, so there's a frigate over there. They're nice and small, and then we can just wipe out a bunch of things around us. Try to see what the kit can do more offensively than defensively. I think that's going to be quite fun. And we're also going to want to put in a small space dock so that we can use the skips to do some bombing runs. I think that's going to work out quite nicely. So the base will look a bit smarter. We're going to have like an air wing set up. We're going to have a bunch of transport ships. And then we are going to be in a really good situation to properly start looking into all the different techs and what they can do, because we're going to have all the resources that we need to do them. So this is weird. I was having a couple bugs that were cropping up, like we couldn't do research and people weren't able to build things. So then what we done is we backed out. It's Ironman, so it automatically saved. We loaded back in, and then this comes up: victory. News has spread far and wide over your victory over the vile omelets. That has brought peace to the Rim. Your victory is no small feat. The grind and dedication demonstrated during your Rimwar will be forever remembered in the annals of history. Well, we're going to keep playing, but yeah, that was odd. I wasn't expecting that to come up. So who was it? Where were they? And who did they get wiped out by? Not too sure. I guess it being Rimwar, the other factions must have wiped them out. Not that there's too much going on around us, but yeah, cool, I'll take that. That's a victory there, but our plan isn't to leave like that. We want to do something a little bit more impressive. I think we get the base, we build a little shuttle, and then we get to see if we can hold those 15 days of continuous onslaught. Because soon we're going to be ready. Jay's got a new set of N7 armor. It's only good quality, unfortunately. The EZO we're running low on, because all of our little hauler bots just keep on dropping it all into here. So every time we've got some, it's gone missing. But that being said, it's not like we are looking very good on the whole plasteel front anyway. I think we're actually out. We'll be making some bionics. We do have one bionic arm, well, one bionic eye, and then one bionic arm. So yeah, as far as bionics are going, it's not exactly like we are like super powered with them. The building is coming on pretty well. Turns out you can't build underneath these, so we are going to move them. So what I'm thinking, if we don't move them, is we are going to need to extend this wall up by one, so we'll extend that side and this side. And then we'll have the doors on either end, so our guys can walk through, and that means they are going to be able to like repair them and then also get the element 0. Diplomatic marriage, we're never going to be interested in. Yeah, Rudolph's clan, yeah, not bothered, guys. So we have like a door. Well, the door would be here because we'd be extending up by one, and that means that we can get in between all of the mechanoid power cells and also all of the EZO production as well. We've moved this one from down here up, so I think that is going to be the next building project after we have sorted these out. Or we could just extend by 2 and use this, and then all we need to do is just move one wall segment, and then we'll have a bit more space, and then we'll just have to do something down here. So yeah, I think that's how we're going to do it. We're just going to block this off and then move everything up. So this should be a really nice quick way to do it. It's going to be bigger than what we wanted, but having a little bit more space isn't going to be a massive problem. This will need a little bit of rearranging. We'll need to move the power lines to the outside, and then this is also just going to give us a bigger area to be able to build like the hard points on the side of the base. We'll get some power in, because obviously that's always going to be needed, and I think this is coming along quite quickly now. Turns out those little hauler bots haul to the buildings as well, which is super useful. That's actually like really, really good. I am not even mad about that. And then all this will be done in a sec. We still want to obviously focus down the Prothean tech, but we need the Prothean fragments. To get the Prothean fragments, we're going to have to fight like the mechanoid ship chunks instead of the actual mechanoid ships. But that's something that we will be able to sort. And then later on, more mechanoid stuff will become available, and then we can do it from there. So we're in a really, really good situation. We do have a new pirate base showing up just outside of ours. It's called Owner's Plateau. And I think we're going to go in. We're only going to send a small team. But I reckon we go and we take that out. So, we are going to want to take Patrick. We are going to take Jay. And we're going to take Oya. So that's those guys. And that should be more than enough to go in and do a little lightning raid. And take out those guys before they can actually start to be a problem for us. So, we're going to drop at edge. If we're feeling like pretty rock and roll, we would have gone for dropping like right in the centre. But I don't want our little Kodiak being taken out right at the start. That would be less than ideal. They are very expensive. We was just having a little scout of the map before we went in. But we do have a bunch of compacted plasteel there. It's not a massive amount. Mind you, we can't take a huge amount on the ship. And we've got some other stuff here that we could break down for components. But let's go and get these three in. So we've got Patrick, who has super short range. Jay has shorter than average range. And then Oya, who has really long range. So let's just get in close and cause them some trouble. Let's get an incinerate straight off onto Hit Preacher, so he can't do too much. Patrick, you are on Search and Destroy, mate. You do what you want to do. Jay, you move down for an Overwatch. And Oya, you just shoot anything that comes our way. And we do have... Oh, I didn't realise we had them in the mod. So we have the resource plants, so we can actually start producing our own plasteel if we need it. It still takes a long time, so it's fairly well balanced, and we've got to process all of it, but I think we will stay away from it in this playthrough. It's there if we need it. I don't think that we will. So yeah, this is ours now, and we've managed to force Anders Blades away. That also means that the other people in this area are going to like us a bit more because we've taken out another faction base, so long as they're not allies with them. And let's claim this. We'll go through, strip down anything of value. Anything that is worth taking we'll take with us. Anything that's not, we'll leave behind. Just realised we didn't bring any miners with us, so we might as well head back to the base whilst the going's still good. It's a little bit of plaster we lost. It is not a massive amount. For what we're taking, we'll take some of this interesting stuff, figure out if we can do much with it. We'll take this as well, and I reckon we take the jade and the plasteel bulbs and the gold ferns. Those we're going to be able to smelt down. We don't need any research for that. We'll take the leaves. They always sell for a bit. And not too interested about any of that. And we'll take the gold. And that is going to be pretty much everything that we need from the map. Okay, cool. We'll let them load up. Okay, new lovers. Barney and Toad. So that is interesting. So that basically makes a really, really weird love square thing. Because Barney and Toad were both at either point, either going out with Kendra or Oya. So, I don't know what to make of that. What we have put in is a little marker tile. So if we get the Kodiak and we try to land it there, if I am not mistaken, that should land perfectly. Yeah, buddy. Done that pretty well. So that's all done. That also means we can get a second Kodiak and put it in there. We are a little ways away from actually being able to afford that. And we also need to find a way to make a bunch more money. Because most of our money was coming from raids and breaking all that stuff down. And, well, now, for some reason, we're just not being raided very much. Which probably means that we're going to be expecting a big raid sometime soon. And if we continue this wall down across to here, then we can start putting in the hard points. Actually, let's start working on that now. Otherwise, if we keep talking about it, it's never going to happen. 260? Oh, we can't afford that right now. Okay, hard points aren't happening at the moment, but they will happen. We came down to check this ship chunk out. It must have landed a couple episodes ago. Wasn't sure if anything was in it, so I figured, yeah, let's just get 4 guys, send them down. They should be able to do it. And the thing is full of bugs. Now, bugs are good because bugs we can break down into chem fuel, and also this thing should have a bit of plasteel, some steel, and an advanced component in it. I think also, and just one normal, well, and a couple normal components. Exact number, I'm not too sure straight off the top of my head. So yeah, we're going through it pretty quick. It's not a massive issue, it's just I kind of thought it might have been empty. But then I also thought it wasn't, hence why we sent 4 people down. So that is done. I think we're just going to go around and shoot up basically everything that's left on the map that we might have triggered or we might not have, just try to prevent ourselves running into an issue, which we've had in other episodes where it turns out they're full of bugs or a hidden mechanoid extractor for some reason. And Kendra just got slotted in the back of the head. Torso and stomach. Cool, that works. And we got these down here. These haven't been dealt with yet. They do need to be destroyed. And we've got some up there. So I think we just go around, wipe all of the ship chunks out, and see what else there is around. Turns out we did trigger all of the hive ships on this map so far. So that's cool. So we don't need to worry about bugs sneaking up on us at some point. Little hauler bots are doing their things. They're surprisingly good. I didn't think the hauler bots were going to be as good as they were, but I'm pretty impressed by them. They are quite expensive to run, and if they get destroyed, they're quite expensive to rebuild. But it does just mean things get done a lot quicker because the stuff's moving around. So the cleaner bots are obviously good because they just clean everything, so we're not worrying about things getting dirty. Then the hauler bots basically just mean our guys can get on with it. So we can run the colony with like a lot less colonists, which works. Gnu's being hunted by a grizzly bear. I think that's the second time that's happened. I'm not sure what Gnu's doing. I don't know, maybe he just rubs himself in honey and the bears go for him. You know, I'm not going to ask too many questions. But last time he did just take the bear down. Let's send the mech out, because if that bear's around, it's still going to be on the prowl. And we haven't used this in a little while, so I think we might as well use it. And from a viewer recommended name, the mech is now called Basham. So say hello to Basham, everybody. Barney proposed marriage to Toad, Toad agreed, and now the 2 of them are engaged. Okay, cool, so it's just a whole bunch of weddings going on in this series, which is fine. You get a nice big mood buff, and then once if they're in the same room together, they're both happy. Does that mean we need to set up a new bed? Yes, yes it does. Okay, so let's go. Where's going to require the least amount of work? Here. So we'll destroy Patrick's bed, and in the meantime, just to stop people getting confused on where they're meant to be, we'll just put the bed there, then we can always move it across. And that should be built in no time. Then we can allocate Patrick into his bed and it's not there anymore. We can allocate that to Barney and Toad so they don't break up because they're unhappy because they're not sleeping together. Okay, so there's Barney. And where is Toad? Toad's vengeful. Cool. You guys go there. And we'll put your bed in a slightly different place just to mix it up a little bit. Actually, that's already annoying me. We'll move those out of the way and then we're moving it back across. Cool. And then that goes there. And seeing as they are both there, okay, got to reallocate that. Cool. Let's go make some fancy stuff. So let's put a dresser in. We'll make it out of steel. I think steel is going to be a better fit for this. Cool. And a prefab end table with a lamp. And then we can take this one. Does anyone need a lamp in their room? No, so let's just put it there for now in case we need it in a bit. Prefab wardrobe. Oh, you guys are getting everything. Cool. Just because we've got the resources at the moment. And we just keep getting idle colonists because we are in the middle of transitioning from one set of tech to another. So it's just taking a little bit of time. But once it's all up, it's going to be awesome. And also, we've got hauler bots now, which is just making everything just move so much better. We have run into a little issue here. We can't actually get there to move it to this bit, which is fine. We can deal with that. And those are... It looks like they all got reset. So once we pick them up and move them, the cooldown timer didn't stay the same. It reset itself, which is a bit of a shame. That is going to be a slight delay on the ESO. And let's expand the walls up along here. So we're going to need new doors in. So door there, we've got a door there, another door here. And let's put this across this bit. Just because we don't want them getting accidentally slotted by some explosive or something going off. Because that would be a very, very expensive detonation if we lost any of those or any of these. 6 advanced components, 200 plasteel, that's expensive. Then these have a mechanoid power core inside them, which goes for just shy of 3 grand. So yeah, we don't want to be losing any of this kit. So we've got a decent sized trade going off. We need to keep the package surviving because we are running super low on food. We weren't able to pick up any advanced components, unfortunately, but we're going to sell them all of the cloth, all of the leathers, which is our pretty standard thing. We picked up 6 more medicine because we do need that. But we now have the Polaris Restorer, which we can give to Barney to sort the scars out on his brain. We're selling off the shells. We don't have mortars anyway. And we're at the point now that if we can't go out to fight what's coming to attack us, we're pretty much dead. So having those is no point. Picking up 119 plasteel, that is going to help us out quite a lot. Unfortunately, they didn't have a mechanoid power cell. We would have taken that. And then the Cyrus or Lance, obviously we're not buying. And then we got a bunch of the crystals we sent off. Now, this is kind of cool. Turns out plasteel bulb chunks sell for 2 a hit. Which is, you know, actually something that might be worth just getting the plasteel bulbs to sell. Because you're going to make money off it. And then the gold leaf fan sells for the same amount. So I might have to look into that in another playthrough. Like making a bunch of a big old metal farm. That could work out really well. And the rest of that stuff we're not really touching. Bonnie is currently pretty damaged, so he's got 3 scars to the brain, which isn't great. That's given him 40% consciousness, 56% to moving, 40% manipulation, talking and eating is all low. He does have good sight and hearing because of like some bionic parts. Let's go give him... inject the Polaris Restorer. I want to see how much this is going to fix you up. Okay. The suspense is killing me. There we go. Nice. All done. That wasn't too bad. Everyone else has... Okay, other than Todd. Is it Todd? No, it's Toad. Toad does have a couple... has 1 scar. Which isn't massive. We can deal with that. But now that means Barney is going to be pretty decent. So moving 125%. So that's like 70 odd % increase in movement. Consciousness is better, which means he's not going to start messing things up. Manipulation, talking, eating. Yeah, he's just going to be a better colonist all round. It took us a long time to be able to get that money together to do it because we've always been spending the money on other stuff. Whereas right now we're just trying to focus down the N7 armour. And we're still waiting on something to attack us. Let's actually set someone to number 1 on mine. Toad, your new job is you're going to be mining like crazy. Is that under mining or is that under research? Yeah, I think it's done by intellectual. So we'll just put Oya on that. He is level 20.99. So he's going to be probably our best candidate for getting that done. And let's go and put some more floors out here. Just so they can get around a little bit quicker. We can't have that under a roof, unfortunately. But I think that's going to be alright. And then we just got to figure out what we're going to do with those rooms. Maybe like a small hydroponic. Because we just keep getting hit by droughts, winters, you know, just stuff that we do not want. Let's go on like 4 times speed. How close was he? 0.69. That is going to take a while to find something. Let's go and try Toad on that instead. Yeah, not assigned to research. And yeah, so it is done by intellectual. So I think what we might need to do is we're going to have to drop out one of those research benches so the other guys can move across. Let's go and we'll turn that off. So that leaves us with 1 high-tech research bench and then 1 of the spacey research benches, because there are some things that don't connect onto that, which is a little bit annoying, but pretty much everything connects onto this other than the stuff that has to connect onto that, if that makes sense. So they have different uses, even though I prefer it if everything could just connect onto the space research bench, because then it would just be amazing all round and you wouldn't have to have a second research bench. But we're going to be able to get some ground penetration scanning going off, which means we're going to be able to get some mining going off, which means a whole bunch more resources, which means we build some more stuff. And with that, I've got to bring the episode to the end, so thank you very much for watching Rimeffect. I've been Conzi, and I look forward to catching you on the next one.